Hi, in this video I'm going to show how to checkmate with a king and a queen against a king. This is one of the most basic checkmates in chess. It's one everyone should know when they start playing. Probably the first one you'll learn, either that or with two queens or two rooks. The pattern is very simple to learn. You can do it in just a few minutes. And it may not be the exact quickest way to do it, but this will get you to a checkmate without any trouble every time you try. So let's try this out here. As we can see, we have a king and a queen for white against just a bare king for black. And our goal is going to be to push the king to one of the edges of the board. Any of these edges that I'm outlining with the arrows now. If we can get the king to the edge of the board, checkmate will follow quickly after that. And we have to use our king and queen together to do that. And what we're going to do is use our queen sort of like a wall against the king. And let me show you what I mean by that with the first move here. Queen e4 check. Now let's see the squares that queen covers. Forget about the diagonals for a second. But the queen covers these squares, and I'll highlight them as well. And those squares create something of a wall. The king is stuck on the inside of that wall and can't get out. And as we move towards checkmating black, our goal is going to be to make that box smaller and smaller, as long as we don't stalemate the black king. So, of course, the black king needs to move away. And in this case, we'll move the king to d6. Alright, so white's going to want to cut down on the area the black king can use and force it to move closer and closer to an edge. So what we're going to do is we're not just going to do any check we can with the queen. We're going to be very careful here and actually not check the king on this move. We're going to move the queen to f5 and shrink that box just a little bit. Black's king has to move closer to the edge. And we're going to keep moving that queen in to cut the black king off as much as possible. We're not looking to check every move. That's a mistake that beginners make a lot of the time. They'll keep checking the king and not get anywhere. So, the black king continues to move backwards, and we can continue to use our queen to cut off more and more of that area. At some point, though, we can't do too much more with our queen. And we could keep making the box a little smaller, but like I said before, we need to use both pieces. So in this case, I'm going to bring my king in now to help out, as we're going to need the king for the final checkmate anyway, so it's about time we bring that king in to help. Black's king is pretty helpless. He can't get out of his little prison made by the queen, so he's just going to move back and forth a bit. And our king will slowly make his way up there and start to help out. Okay. So the helpless black king has just been moving back and forth the last couple moves. And now that our king is back in to assist the queen, it's time to close that box down even more. The next move we can do is moving the queen here, again creating an even smaller box that traps the king in. And the king tries desperately to stay away from the edge. It's okay, we can push the king once more, now forcing the king, because we cover that square too, to move to the edge, either on a7 or in this case we'll say b8. Alright, we're on the last step now, and here's the biggest key to this endgame. When the king does hit the edge, the enemy king, you want to move your queen to the next row over. Whether that's the king is on the 8th rank, we want to move the queen to the 7th rank. And we need to do it on a safe square, so of course these two squares, b7 and c7, are not safe. Our only choice is to move the queen to d7. Now, I'll use this chance to point out one thing that you cannot do in this endgame, and this is the way that beginners often stalemate the black king. The king in this position has to move to the edge of the board, to the corner of the board, a8. You cannot move the queen a knight's move away from the king, and that would be either c7 or b6. If you do that, here's what will happen. Black's king is now stalemated because the white queen takes away all the squares that the black king could go to, but he's not in check yet, so the game becomes a draw. Moving back, of course, the best thing we can do is just leave our queen where it is. It's doing its job. It's keeping the king trapped into only 2 squares. The helpless king's just going to be able to move back and forth, and as soon as we move our king in, it'll be a quick checkmate. In fact, it takes just 2 more moves. The black's king's next move is forced, and we have a checkmate in 1 for white. Let's see if you can see it. Okay. Of course, by now you've probably seen that the checkmate happens via queen b7 checkmate. The queen is protected by the king. The queen, in turn, takes away every square that that black king could use. So the game is over. Black is checkmated. I'll show one other common stalemating pattern, just because it's another one that beginners do a lot and you want to avoid. Alright. We need to go back a little farther. Okay. Let's suppose we set up a position something like this. Surprisingly common white move that leads to stalemate is putting the queen right here. Again, it's that tricky knight move away from the king, where every square that the king could go to is taken up. However, the king itself is safe, but because black has no moves, it's a stalemate. Alright, I hope this, I should say the way to avoid this is simply to remember that every time we see that black king, or the enemy king, if you're black it could be the white king, go to the edge of the board, we want to put the queen on the 2nd row, in this case the 7th rank because the black king is on the 8th rank, and trap that king along the edge. Alright, I hope this quick lesson has made you a lot more confident on being able to checkmate a lone king when you have a king and queen. Good luck, and thanks for watching the video.